Okay, this time let's just look at two wee past paper questions. First past paper question for simultaneous equations, it says Charlie is making costumes for a school show. One day he made two cloaks and three dresses. The total amount of material used was 9.6 square metres. Write down an equation to illustrate this information. So usually you can tell an exam style simultaneous equation question because it'll have three parts. It'll have make an equation in part A, make an equation in part B, and then solve it to find an answer in part C. So it says two cloaks and three dresses is 9.6 square metres. So use a common sense variable for that. So it's going to be 2C, C for cloak, 3 for dress is equal to 9.6. Charlie made three cloaks and four dresses from 3.3 square metres. So it's going to be 3C plus 4D is equal to 13.3. So usually that would be worth a mark. That would be worth a mark. And then you've got 4 marks to solve and answer the question. So it says calculate the amount of material required to make one cloak and one dress. And it's the amount of material. And we're talking about the material in terms of their square meterage. So it's the area that's used. Please make sure you pay attention to the units that's required. So sometimes it would ask you for a weight, it could be an amount of money. This time it's an area that's getting used, so please just pay attention to that. So my two equations are 2C plus 3D is equal to 9.6 and 3C plus 4D is equal to 13.3. So again, let's go ahead and solve that. So middle variable 3 and 4, lowest common multiple of 3 and 4 has to be 12. So multiply the top by 4 and the bottom by 3. So that's going to give me 2 4s are 8, so it'll be 8C plus 12D is equal to 9.6 times 4, which will be 38.4. Now, simultaneous equation questions can appear either in a non-calculator or a calculator paper. All they'll do is just make the numbers a bit trickier if it's calculator. Then it's going to be 9C plus 12D is equal to 13.3 times 3, which is 39.9. So we'll get same sign, so we're going to subtract. So it's going to be minus C is equal to 38.4 minus 39.9, which is minus 1.5. Always make sure you solve for positive one of the variable. So therefore C is equal to 1.5. So when C is equal to 1.5, put it into any equation so we can make it say, top equation is going to be 2C plus 3D is equal to 9.6. Put it into that, so it's going to be 2 times 1.5 plus 3D is equal to 9.6. So it's 3 plus 3D is equal to 9.6. So 3D is equal to 6.6. Divide by 3, so D has to be 2.2. So we know that C is 1.5 and D is 2.2. We want to know the area of material required. So we can't just say that C is 1.5 square metres. What does C represent? C represents the cloaks and D represents the dresses. So I can say that one cloak equals 1.5 square metres and 1 dress is equal to 2.2 square meters. That's it. That's all you need to do. Sometimes a question could say, when it says calculate the amount of material required, it could say to make 5 cloaks and say 3 dresses. So all you would do is solve it as normal, get what it is for 1 cloak and 1 dress, and then just multiply by whatever you need to multiply by. Okay? Last past paper example. This time we relate it right all the way back to the first bit where we found them finding where straight lines crossed. It says the graph below shows 2 straight lines with equations 3x minus y is equal to 2 and x plus 3y is equal to 19. The lines intersect at the point P. So I want to find algebraically the coordinates of point P. So I want to find where these 2 lines are intersecting each other. Okay? So it's not a case of, in the examples way back at the beginning of these videos for simultaneous equations, we counted the boxes. We don't have boxes here. So we need to do it algebraically. There is no other way we can do it. You don't have square paper, and you wouldn't have it in an exam. It would be blank paper. So there's no option but to use algebraic methods. So what have we got here? We have 3x minus y is equal to 2 and x plus 3y is equal to 19. Now, there's really a choice of method here. You could use the substitution method if you wanted. You could make it say, make the bottom equation say x equals 19 minus 3y and substitute in that value of x. Or you could just rearrange them and use the elimination method. I think it's National 5. Make life easier on yourself. You've already got them in terms of variable plus or minus variable is equal to number. Let's just keep going with this then. Let's solve it to find that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this then. So we've got minus y and plus 3y, so it's 1 and 3. Lowest common multiple of 1 and 3 is 3. So leave the bottom equation alone. I would multiply the top equation by 3. So that will give me 9x minus 3y is equal to 6. And the bottom equation stays the same. So it's just going to be x plus 3y is equal to 19. So we've got different signs. So when we have different signs, we're going to subtract. Nope. So we've got different signs here. When we have different signs, we're going to add. So let's add them up. So 9x plus x is going to give me 10x. The y's cancel out. And 19 plus 6 is 25. So 10x is equal to 25, x is equal to 2.5. So when x equals 2.5, put that into any equation. Let's just use the bottom equation because we're not having to multiply the x up. So we'll use x plus 3y is equal to 19. So take the 2.5 and sub it in. So I get 2.5 plus 3y equals 19. So that means that 3y is going to be 16.5 because I've done 19 take away 2.5. So therefore y is going to be 16.5 divided by 3. So y has to be 5.5. Let's look at the context of the question. The question is asking for the coordinates of P. Okay, so this time it's not looking for x is 2.5 and y is 5.5, it wants us to say that P is the coordinate 2.5, comma 5.5. And that is the end of simultaneous equations.